Hello everyone, I'm here to do the soulmate reading for the month of June, and looks like there's things that are still coming together. Also, this is a very general reading for new and existed relationships, so take what resonates. I'm feeling a lot of overcoming issues that are coming together for the month of June, like with the ring from the Lenormand deck. This ring shows that there's a circle of hope, and there's definitely a ring, not necessarily meaning engagement. This ring is a circle of hope, and it also signifies that there's true love there, especially with the ruby color here, which is with rubies. The ruby crystal is really significant with soulmates too. Helps to bring in love, and it's also the color of red, which is a power energy and romance. So everything here looks good. I'm hearing I'm hearing to keep hope alive. The word hope, keeping hope alive, and building on strengths to focus on what's real and what's not real. So you got to really step into the power here. The energy card, the message for June for soulmates is the only thing that is real is love. So it's building a connection and realizing that no matter what, throughout the trials and tribulations, there's always love and connections. But let's go with the soulmate new and existed relationship energies for the month of June. And also, we are still in Mercury retrograde until June 22nd. June 22nd, Mercury goes into, it goes away. It's gone. The energies are completely released. However, there's also a post-shadow phase from June 22nd to July. July 7th is when Mercury goes back. Even though it's going direct on June 22nd, it's going into post-shadow, which is healing. Just like with the Mercury retrograde, there was pre-shadow. Post-shadow shows that there's healing and guidance and releasing. The energy for June is not for you. And this may not necessarily have to do with your relationship. I mean, this could signify that there's something going on and it's not meant for your highest potential and your highest good. So there might be a separation here for some of you, might be. And because this is very general, it's hard to see if it's meant to be like a separation, or if it's not for you, could also signify that there's other things that this isn't for your highest good for your relationship. So there's healing coming in. And there is a fortune cookie here. The fortune cookie has a message as well, showing that, and there's a picture frame also showing it's actually like a picture frame type of clock. I call it a picture frame. It feels like a picture frame to me. So, I mean, there's timing coming in because it's a clock, but it looks like a picture frame to me. So I'm picking up picture frames, meaning memories. So there's a lot of things, and it's timing. And with Mercury retrograde, timing is going to be delayed. So communication could be delayed. The way you guys connect may be delayed. So there's going to be some moments where you and your partner are just needing to not be quite so communicative. For new relationships right now, with Mercury retrograde and new relationships, it's not exactly the easiest because of miscommunication. Especially, it's a very new relationship. There might be some time delays with communication, time delays with going out on a date. This Gemini Mercury retrograde, Gemini is the sign of Mercury, and it has to do with communication. Existed relationships, like the new relationships, you really will have to be careful how you say things, because I feel like there's some sensitivity. There's a hand holding the chessboard with the chess pieces, so there is movement coming in, but there's also, it's like this fortune cookie is like kind of in the middle of where the pieces are. So there's something that's blocking. The hand is holding up the chessboard, so it's being lifted. So what I'm getting with this is what may not be right for your relationship is going to be pushed out. Mercury retrograde can be healing, but I'm also getting that with communication and with inner feelings, with emotions, there might be some things that are still hidden. Like this message, this fortune cookie hasn't been opened yet. It's still in one piece. So there's a lot of hidden things there. The messages are not even open yet. So you really need to focus on trusting the process and letting things come together. Don't worry so much about, oh my God, I haven't talked to my partner, or oh, he or she is not talking to me. Right now it's going to be complicated. I feel complications because there's stagnance here. There's no movement. There's no connection. Everything's like it's still scattered, like in separation. So some of you may be feeling separated with communication, with romance, with some kind of power that you guys are trying to focus on, and there's a power struggle. Okay, so it's not for you. You have to step back and let everything fall into place. And with June, there's a full moon on the 24th, and there's also a new moon on the 10th. With June, that new moon energy in Gemini, there's going to be some communication that starts to build up. And I really feel like with this full moon, there's going to be some pieces that start to correlate again. Okay, so with this new moon and then the full moon in Capricorn, there's going to be some stronger, well thought out plans, things coming into pieces and starting to flow again. The beginning of June, the first few weeks of June, I feel like there's going to be some kind of drama that feels like it's inner pieces or not movement. But towards the middle of June, towards the end of June, especially after Mercury retrograde goes direct, there's going to be some pieces that finally make sense, and there'll be more peace coming in. Especially with the union energy, there's thinking going on. This feels a lot like a hermit. Excuse me, this feels almost like a hermit to me, a hermit card. There's thinking going on. There's time being spent alone. There's connections that are, you're just thinking more than you're speaking, which makes sense with Mercury retrograde. As I said, the communication could be misguided, or the communication could be piece by piece, which is not meant for you. Excuse me. And the thinker with a not for you, there's going to be, especially like I said, towards the end of June, between Mercury retrograde going direct and into post shadow with the full moon in Capricorn on the 24th, you're going to feel a lot more strength coming in. There's going to be stronger pieces. The pieces that are hidden, there's going to be more information, more communication, more guidance, more trust, more faith, more love coming in. But the thinker is with the not for you. There's time spent contemplating and really focusing on steps that you both can share and guide each other. I'm feeling trust with the way this thinker is. It's in contemplation, just thinking, not so much focusing on how things can be better, and when this person is going to call you, if new partnerships, or your partner may not be as open, and you're sitting there wondering and worrying about situations. This thinker is telling you to stop with those worries and focus more on going within and thinking about the process here. I'm also looking at the girl in the picture here. She's just sitting alone. Again, the hermit energy. It's very strongly the hermit situation. And I'm getting the feeling that you need to just clear your mind, get rid of the excess chatter that's going on with your ego. I'm feeling more balance here. We're here, there's like, I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of things that I wonder about. I hope that this works out. You need to let go of I hope and I'm trying, and focus on doing and being optimistic, because even though this woman here is contemplating, and it's almost like she's got a daydream type of thing going on with the way she's thinking, and she's just like chilling out a little bit. You need to chill out. This shows me chill out. That's also the reason why I get hermit from it, because she's in her own little world and there's nothing around her. She's contemplating, she's going within. That's what you really need to focus on with the thinker, which is the union energies for new and existed relationships. Those of you who are in existed relationships, it's slightly easier for you to completely open up to how you want to say something, or the way you say something. But what I'm getting at with this thinker, and not for you, these two energies right here, is you better really pay attention to how things are said, especially with Mercury and Gemini. That communication is going to be kind of scrambled. So before you say something, think about what you're saying. Otherwise, it's going to come out wrong. There could possibly be communication problems where you say something wrong, or they say something wrong, and then it gets all out of place and all disjointed, all disconnected. So think before you speak, so that way your energies can mesh more instead of standing back. Towards the end of June, from the full moon towards the end of June, the last few weeks of June, I feel like you and your partner, new and existed, are going to feel a lot more balanced. Right now it's like helter-skelter, where do I go and what do I do? Because the Mercury retrograde is so fresh and new. But I feel like these two are balancing each other out, especially towards the end, from the full moon to the 31st. Things are going to be better. You just have to trust the process. If you get into I hope so, or I'll try, you're breaking away from the energy that is all about connection, okay? So stay away from I'll try, stay away from I hope so, because if you don't, you're going to get yourself in a rut, and that's not what you want to do. A rut of worrying, a rut of doubt, a rut of frustration. You and your partner for June are already going through changes right here. But with the behind the scenes message being a ring, I'm hearing ring around the rosies. Pocket full of poses. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. It's what I used to like to do when I was a child, when I played with my friends. And it actually fits. Because... And I'm also hearing rings true. So there's communication, especially towards the end of June, that's going to be coming out in pieces that may feel more balanced, and the truth is coming out. Ring true also for the beginning to middle of June. What is not being said will come out in the way things, the emotions are being shown, the way feelings are being shown. There's not a lot of communication with words as much as there is emotions and feelings. So rings true and ring around the roses. Play with your feelings, okay? Don't make things so stressful. There's no need to be stressed. because June is going to be symbolized, because this ring is it's a symbol of hope and love and connection and forever. And this ruby being a ruby ring, that shows the power and the romance and the passion. So you really need to focus on what you share with your partner. Okay? And don't go into worrying and focusing on jealousy. I also feel some jealousy between these two. There's some kind of jealousy going on. Not for all of you, for a few of you. While others of you may have some kind of doubt because the communication is not talking. There's not a lot of talking. There's not a lot of action. But you really have to let things fall into place, okay? And especially with the message for June. The only thing that is real is love. And with these cards, the not for you, the thinker, the ring, floating in with the only thing that is real is love. You need to shift your whole energies on the power of love and what you share with your partner. New relationships, you gotta give space when it comes to communication, because with new relationships and Mercury retrograde, dating somebody new during Mercury retrograde has always been sketchy because the communication may not be off. You may be full of passion and full of happiness and full of harmony, and then you won't hear from the person that you went out, and you'll be, women especially, you'll be thinking, oh, well, you know, I thought this person liked me. It's not good to start a new relationship during Mercury retrograde because the communication never works out perfectly. So just remember that and keep that in mind. But love is all there is. And your relationship, especially towards the middle to the late part of June, I feel there's going to be some more power coming in, especially from the new moon in Gemini all the way to where July 24th with the full moon in Capricorn. There's going to be some more balance, okay? So just go with the flow and everything will fall into place. To book your private reading, you can reach me through my email address, angelswhisper1122@gmail.com. For those of you who follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, you can reach out to me and DM me to book your private reading for your soulmate reading, and I'll look into what is going on with your own personal relationship. Because this is general, it's not geared towards one person. So go ahead and subscribe to my Angels Whispers 1122 page here on YouTube. And also, I'd really appreciate the likes and also leaving any kind of comments. I like to read comments, okay? Namaste, go with peace, and don't worry about anything.